Let me know when we get you there.
Oh, yeah, I've been good.
All right, boom.
That's how you start.
We here.
Yep.
We here.
Yo. Welcome back to the Lum LaL show. I'm your host, Bilal Abbey.
It's your boy, Pharaoh Lum.
And today we got a special guest that came through to visit and talk about some super important things happening in the community. She's got this wonderful event coming up. But let me just introduce her right?
Yeah,
So,
I'm about to say, as a gang, you know
what I mean? I've known this young lady like I'm 90 years older than her.
I know, it made me like want to sit up.
It's been an honor watching her
Since
grow
kindergarten. It's been a long time. Knew her since kindergarten. Been tight for forever. Added value to so many things that I'm doing. Hope I added value to the things that she's doing. And most recently, in the last few years, she has created an event series and a company called Artist Talk. And Artist Talk Mental Health. And it has exploded in not just Pittsburgh, but it's starting to be nationwide and eventually global, to the point where people are starting to have more conversations and more access to mental health resources and professionals. So I just want to take the time out to introduce y'all to my friend, the homie, Sydney Davis.
Hey everybody.
Yeah.
That was a Shannon Sharp introduction.
Was it?
You ever see how he introduced
I'm coming
me?
for you.
Yeah.
Coming for
Coming
you.
for you, Shannon.
Coming
I'll
for
take
you,
that.
Hey, coming for you. That's crazy. Shannon gonna be on it. He gonna drop the disc.
You don't want to drop no podcast
podcast.
because I actually rap, nigga.
Yeah, you want.
I'm telling you, coming for them pants, them
My
tight ass
favorite
pants.
rapper.
That's what I'm coming for them pants. That's first
Bar. Come on, man.
That's
So tell me a little bit about. Well, first of all, how are you? How's your
how's
day?
how's your mental health? First off,
What's going on? How you feeling?
Mental health.
Yeah. Put your M's up,
Put your hands
man.
up for
Mental health. Man.
My day was good. It was pretty relaxing. I woke up, I went to church, I went and had some food, and then I went to another church, actually, that big church in East Liberty.
Oh yeah, Eastminster.
Yeah, because I be feeling like I'm Mount Airy. Like once the service is over, they kind of like start walking you out the door. They be like, "All right, bye, have a good week."
I know what you mean. The ushers be like,
"Yeah, like
I should be there. Where you on your way to now?
Yeah,
Take their job serious. They really ushers.
what you got planned today?
What you got going on?
Start
What you doing in the next 5 minutes?
Yeah, such a nice day. You don't want to be in here.
No, but I went to that
guess I'll head
really big
That's funny.
cathedral in East Liberty. I like praying in there. I really like the ambiance. It's crazy because when I first walked in, I felt a complete energy shift as soon as you step into the sanctuary. So that's my little spot to pray at. But I journaled during brunch, and then I went home and started getting ready for this.
Word.
Okay, well, definitely you had a productive day. Yeah.
Facts. I think that people think that days are always supposed to be jam packed with productive things.
Yeah.
And for me, I mean, I've known this for a while. I've worked to unravel some of my limitations when it comes to having a lot to do in a day. But I still have a hard stop on it encroaching into my mental health. Like, packing my day too many days in a row makes me feel out of control of my own schedule. And it starts to bother me. Like, how do you deal with being busy?
So I try to pick 3 things for the day. That's usually my thing. I don't know if you be watching my Instagram where I have that whiteboard in my office. So I'll just write down, like at the beginning of the week, I'll write down all the like big things that I want to do. And then I'll just kind of break it down into the days.
Nice.
Whether it be like a meeting or planning an event, like starting to create checklists for all of those things. So I'll write the 3 things, and then I'll write all the things I need to do to complete those 3 things, and then I'll just start knocking those smaller things off the list. But that makes me feel accomplished. I felt a little overwhelmed if I don't plan and list things out. I'm a Capricorn, so I'm very goal oriented. I like to like A to B. That's how my brain works. I realized that with running too. Like now that I'm back in the gym, I used to just run outside, and I like running from one place to another place so I know when I completed it. When I'm on the treadmill, I can't focus. I'm just like, all right, I'm tired of this. I don't want to do this anymore. So it's harder to kind of like my brain to process that like we still did the thing. It was just in one place.
I can relate to that when it comes to being in a gym because I don't do at this point in my life, home workouts.
Okay.
I don't like working out at home.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I'm one of the people that will never have a TV in their bedroom. I don't want a TV in my bedroom. Like my bedroom is for two things. Y'all can guess the two things.
You feel me?
Yeah, but that's about it. And so I feel like the gym is where I work my body. I don't do the treadmill, so I get what you mean. I like the stair stepper. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's easier to do the stair stepper than it is to walk upstairs. Yeah. Because like walking upstairs, like, all right, nigga, am I at the floor? Am I there yet? But the stair stepper, it's just I don't got.
Am I there yet?
You know what I mean? It's more of a time limit.
No, but I feel that. I mean, that's why we go into like the office. It's like when you go to the gym, your body you're mentally preparing to step into the space and you know what you're about to do. So that's how I feel about the office. I could work from home because I have my own company. I could work from anywhere, for real. Right. But me going into the office is me being disciplined and getting my mind focused on when we're in this space, this is what we're doing.
Mm. Yeah, when you got options, I feel like that's when discipline is the most important. Mm-hmm. I was telling my friend who's, I ain't gonna say his name, but Dad been slipping a little bit lately. He been having a couple, you know what I'm saying? He been doing well.
He always talking about I ain't gonna say that.
I ain't gonna say his name.
He didn't say his name. I was like, wait.
No, but he say not.
Every episode.
I ain't gonna say his name.
They be watching. He gonna be like, damn, bro. Because he gonna be like, damn, bro, you going. Because only my people is going to know who I'm talking about. My people will know automatically. But everybody else ain't going to know. But nah, like, I'm just saying he's been doing very well career-wise. He's worked very hard to get to where he's going. You know what I mean? He's a single father. He's doing very well. But I told him, like, his discipline's been slipping. He put on a lot of weight, and now he's just been getting back to the gym. And he's just like, damn, I've been coming up, so I just had fucking Chick-fil-A and a Chipotle bowl, and I decided to go get, like, a bundt cake for...
That's a lot.
I'm like, for
what?
Gym? I said, bro... That's enough food
that's
for like
4,000 calories.
He had 3 Chick-fil-A meals. It was one sitting. He had like 2 or 3 Chick-fil-A meals, a bowl of Chipotle, and like a little cake. I said, bro, that's enough food for like 4 days, bro.
Before the gym though? Or just throughout his day?
Throughout his day. He wasn't working out at that point. I was at work when he did this. Now he's back in the gym. But I was telling him, bro, you have the money for extra. Your resources are out of control now because you can get a lot of the shit that you couldn't get before. Now discipline is the most important.
Yeah. When you have options, discipline.
When you got to go to the office, discipline don't matter. You got to take your ass there. It don't matter if you have discipline or not. We all have that point in our life where it's like, all right, I got to go here, so does it really matter if I have discipline? When you have your own and it's your baby, it's up to you to get yourself in that disciplined mind for real. Mm-hmm. And that's when it's the most important because you don't necessarily got to go. But then if I don't got to do this kind of cascade until, well, I don't really got to follow through in that appointment and I don't really got to go to this meeting. And so when you start to have that mindset, that's when your business start to slip for real.
No, that's definitely true. For sure.
Yikes. I feel like discipline is the gateway to anything that you want in your life that you don't have. Like, it's literally the first step to anything. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like with Artist Talk, it's like, because like you said, it's my baby. It's like everything starts and stops with me.
Yeah, for sure.
If I don't show up, ain't nobody else gonna show up.
100%.
If I don't push the ball forward with something, or if I don't set up these meetings, if I don't pay people, do the checks, do all of the things, like I realized when I got sick for one of the workshops for one of our programs, Therapeutic Spaces, and I wasn't able to make it to the workshop, everything kind of started going awry. And I sent my business partner in, and he like got everything under control. Shout out to Malik, he be holding it down. But I was just realizing that like I'm the glue. So I have to show up and I have to make sure that everything like is functioning. But I didn't notice that until I stepped back and didn't show up because I've never not shown up. That like that's really how easy it could be for things to like either stick together or fall apart. So discipline is definitely a big factor, and that's something I go back and forth with.
Yeah,
like you fall in and out of it, but seeing results, I think, is a motivator for me. Like, I've been going to the gym for, like, not to keep bringing it back there, but I've been going for, like, 6 or 7 weeks, and mental health. I've been going to the gym, and I'm like, damn, where's my abs at? You know what I mean? Like, I was going for 5 or 6 weeks, and I ain't see nothing. So I'm like, should I keep working on this, or should I move to something else? But they starting to come through. They loading right now.
I feel you.
But now that I can see them, it motivates me so much more because I'm like, all right, I want to see how much more we could do this, or like what this could turn into.
No, them results definitely motivate you. I remember I had a nice little streak where my abs was crazy. I took a picture. I'm still trying to get back. I'm like, I know it's possible.
Facts. I be looking at my old pictures of my abs.
I done seen it.
I don't know how you got there, but you could do it.
Yo,
I ain't got no old pictures of my abs, nigga. Ain't none. It's over. Yeah. Not yet. I'm gonna have new pictures.
Yeah, new pictures of abs loading, nigga.
I think that so I wanted to talk a little bit about your event coming up in July.
Okay.
All right, so Black Therapy 101.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at some different things about Black therapists, and I have encountered a decent amount of Black women therapists in my life.
Okay.
But when I really thought about it, I've only met in person 4 Black mental health professionals that were men. 2 of them have been through you.
Okay.
And 2 of them were through college because they worked in the psychology department. And I was like, damn, outside of that, I never really in person met more than those. And I think I spent a good amount of time around mental health professionals because I did like have a minor in psychology. So I've been around people. Mm-hmm. I've gone to schools. I work with kids. Like I see professionals in mental health for various reasons, but I've only seen 4 Black male mental health professionals. And I just wanted to ask you, not just from the male's perspective, but what has been your experience with mental health professionals, and how does that play into Black Therapy 101?
What has been my experience with them?
Yeah.
With therapists?
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
I have a...
you don't have to get too personal, but just like, how would you describe your experience?
Yeah, I don't mind getting personal. So I was in and out of therapy for a lot of my life. My parents separated when I was younger. So when all this stuff with like the custody was going on, the court wanted us to go to therapy throughout that process. So I've had a very wide spectrum of experiences with therapists. There were some that were like low-key traumatizing, where I feel like my trust was kind of was compromised with them. And I just felt kind of uncomfortable after that experience. But there were some experiences with therapists. I'm in therapy right now, and I love my therapist. But I've had a Black male, I've had a Black woman. A lot of the people that I saw when I first got into therapy were white women. And I just felt like they couldn't really relate to a lot of my experiences. I know the therapist I had before this one was a Black man, and I asked for that because I grew up with my father, so I feel like I respond better to like keep all the sugar coating over there, like tell me the facts, tell me what I need to do, how do we get here. And now I'm more so trying to tap into my feminine energy, so I was like, I really want to have more of an experience with just more feminine energy, more like nurturing energy, more like just like that motherly feel. I'm trying to tap into that because I feel like I'm always moving in masculine energy in like the work world because I'm running my stuff, so I have to talk to a lot of other people and kind of like show up in that way.
There's a lot of exertion.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So my personal experiences with therapists were that. But in the professional world, like, the reason that we're having Black Therapy 101 is because I feel like it's hard to find Black therapists in the world, in the Pittsburgh community. And so I kind of went out in the community and found the people that look like us, Black therapists, to come and talk to people so people know they're real. And that you can ask for that. I feel like often in the Black community, we just feel like we need to take what we get when it comes to like assigning a therapist to you. And I just wanted to show people that you can ask for more and you could be specific about it. Yeah. Like there's a lot of therapists that specialize in like inner child work or trauma, or there's relationship therapists, there's sex therapists, there's all types of, there's a huge spectrum. And I feel like when we think about therapy, we think of this one singular thing. And it's like, nah, we can go deep. We can get in depth. We can speak to something specific to you that you want to work on. So I do a lot of shadow work with my therapist. And we have a lot of great conversations where we really get to dig into specific topics. And I wanted to share that with other people and for them to know.
Nice.
That's definitely interesting. I think it's dope how you let your thoughts, as far as going into picking a therapist, kind of evolve with how you see life. Because it's like, okay, at this point in time, I was kind of feeling like this, and these were my goals, and this was the mind state I was in, so I picked my therapist like this. And at this point in time, I had got to, like you said, you were trying to embrace your feminine energy, so you're going to pick a different therapist now. You may end up going with a woman. In general, when you have somebody who's new to therapy, what factors and what do you think like the average person should like try to factor in when they're picking a therapist for themselves? Because I think a lot of people, when they're thinking about it, they have no clue where to start. And I just thought you had an interesting take on it because you didn't allow yourself to be even kept in a box of having one therapist or having one mindset. So, like, what factors do you think will go in for the average person picking a therapist?
First, I think the big thing for me was like, are you ready for therapy? And that was a question that I asked myself. Like, is that something you want to do? Because it's a process. It's you waking up and choosing to put yourself first and be in that realm. I try to be respectful of people's time. I have got broken up with from a therapist because I was late or I was missing a lot of meetings. And she was like, you're not taking this serious. And now that I, have businesses and I run a business, I understand that and I respect that. Like there are other people that could have took that slot that are ready and are really want to show up for themselves, and I was a little selfish. I was taking that spot up and not following through with it, and telling myself it was because I'm too busy or because I'm always working or I have to do this thing. Like, no, I had a choice to prioritize myself. I just didn't in that moment. And it wasn't a slight to her. It was really a slight to me. Not prioritizing me and feeling like I'm important enough to like say no to things so I could say yes to me. What was the question?
Just what factors do you think go in for somebody picking a therapist?
So, there's so many therapists. So I think you have to kind of do some work in you to figure out like what are the things you want to work on. You could go in there and just be like, oh, yeah, so today I was walking down the street and I tripped. And you could talk about whatever. You're paying them for that hour. So, like, realistically, it's a job. And it is a support system. But there's two. I look at it in two different ways. Like, one, that it's a business. But two, like, this is our sacred space. So, one, are you ready for that? And what exactly do you want to work on? Or going in with the mindset of, I don't know what I want to work on right now, but I want to figure that out together. And opening up that conversation. Like I said, there's just so many therapists. There's ones that deal with like childhood trauma or things that are very specific. So you have to be able to look at yourself and be like, am I ready to talk about these things first off? Because it gets messy in there. It can get real messy. And you get this 1 hour, but then you ultimately got to go home and look at yourself and still deal with those feelings that are there. They don't just dissipate after the 1 hour.
Absolutely.
Like, I went home and, like, I felt things for days that I opened up in therapy. And I'm just like, damn, I wasn't expecting to take this home how I did with me. So it's like, you got to be ready to really sit and sort through those feelings. So, like, I think going to therapy is really brave for that reason. Like, you're taking a hard look at yourself and you're coming to the conclusion of, like, I want to be disciplined in this and I want to show up for myself and I'm important. So I think that that's amazing when people show up for themselves in that way. But yeah, I think those are some things to look at and to figure out. Therapists are not going to give you the answers and a cheat code sheet. And
They're
be like,
mirrors.
hey, this is how you fix this.
I feel like they hold a mirror up to you more than anything. And I'm kind of vetting a new therapist. I had one session with her that was really about temperament and identifying my temperament.
What's that mean?
So your temperament is essentially the character. I shouldn't say character. It is the set of principles that you use to interact with yourself that you're born with. So personality is how we create. Personality is the mask that we wear throughout our life. Personality can change, whatever. Personality is created through life experience. Your temperament is how you enter the world. And there's other methodologies and terminologies for other practices, Western practices that speak to temperament. But essentially, they talk about your inclusion, meaning how do you interact with people and how you want to be interacted with people.
Okay.
Your control aspect, so how you want people to, if you want people to have control in your life and if you want control in other people's life. And then your affection, so how you expect people to show, let's say, love or affection or to show some type of admiration or just need for you.
Like your love
life.
language.
Yeah, but we can use love language too, but I think affection encompasses even things outside of love language, right? And so I had my temperament read, and it was interesting to me. I think I'll share it with you off camera because I don't think it's like a big thing that people need to like understand before people start talking about temperament.
It's giving astrology, by the way.
It's kind of it's not even including astrology, but it is giving astrology, and I will say it's very much different than people posting their personality types on Twitter. It's not that. You know, like the ENIFJ. I don't know what the fuck that means.
I'm cracking up.
Excuse my language. But it's not
Not
that.
a couple
though.
questions so they can.
No, right. Because some people be like, oh yeah, I'm such and such, and I'm EMP. I'm like, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry.
Well, I just meant astrology in the sense of like I'm learning about like your rising, like how I'm a Capricorn, but my rising is Aries, so that's how I show up in people's lives, like personality wise, or all the different levels to things.
I hold astrology near and dear to me because a lot of people, I think, put astrology in different categories. One category is like it's just too out there, too floaty, too flighty. I don't understand it. Some people feel like it's not religious enough, and some people feel like it is just some bullshit that people use as an excuse. But I have studied my interactions with myself and other people based on zodiac signs, not making judgments. I don't prejudge. Of course, people have their things that they'll say, like, I don't like this sign. But I'll never not interact with or slight someone based on their sign. I always just pay attention to my interactions. And I found some very interesting commonalities amongst different signs and me across the board.
I was just looking into like human design and things. And
Human design,
yeah. So it's
cloning niggas. Sign off.
Cloning niggas, that's what you mean.
They clone Tyrone, man.
I was just thinking, I hope Kodak's not
a
clone, but that's a whole nother conversation.
If they
Shout out to
clone
Kodak,
that's crazy, bro.
Definitely shout out to
Clone Nikola Tesla.
Definitely sniper game.
Clone WB Du Bois.
Okay, this is a little off topic, but since we talking about Kodaks, y'all brought him up.
Yeah,
but since we talking about
y'all brought him up.
I don't know how he got in the conversation. Kodak is my favorite rapper, but when it comes to people are always like, why do you like him so much? And honestly, it's because he talks about his mental health so much in music. He's so vulnerable. I think low-key he's a prophet. And y'all can feel how y'all want to feel. But I feel like God, the way that Kodak translates stuff is the way he speaks to his people, only he could speak to them like that. And he, like, knows that language. But the way that he, like, is talking about how he's feeling and how he feels alone or people did him dirty and, like, how he's trying to, like, reach out for help and all this other stuff. Like, a lot of people would laugh at him and have laughed at him in a lot of the videos. But, like, I think he's, like, hella vulnerable and open and very in touch with how he feels.
I actually agree with you on that,
and he actually, like, he's telling people, like, yo, like, I need help. And y'all are literally laughing or bumping a song in your car. So I feel like Kodak's a lot deeper than a lot of people give him credit for or really see. I feel like you really got to tap in and dial in. And I'm all the way dialed in, so this is a different level. But that's something I always think about when I listen to his music. A lot of male rappers that I listen to that are like saying like, yo, I'm messed up, but I'm gonna just put it in this rap song and talk about somebody with a big booty and some lean so I can get through it and cope.
Hate myself, but the ass fat. It's
myself,
goddamn,
fat.
You know what I mean? But
I hate myself.
But that's how it be though. Like I think that rap has become rap has always been an emotional. I don't want to use the word dumping ground. I'm gonna say it's been an emotional file cabinet
or release.
Release for
Yes.
sure, but
Yeah.
release, I feel like I use that word, but I'm starting to feel like it's too light of a word because everything's on record.
Yeah.
When you release things, it's not always on
You
record.
let it go.
You let it go.
Yeah, this shit on record, and people are held accountable for it, and that kind of brings me back to one of the things that Lum wanted to put as a topic is like when we talk about Kodak Black, it makes me think about rappers and people who have undiagnosed or diagnosed conditions, right? Because just because you go to a mental health professional doesn't mean they're a psychiatrist and that they're going to diagnose
I already
you, right?
know what you're getting at.
So, like,
that's
you
what
think
we talk about in Black Therapy 101,
Right.
the difference between a psychologist, a counselor, a
Right.
therapist, a peer specialist, all those
clinical,
topics. Yep.
you know what I mean? Like, we're
break
talking
all that
about
down.
different shit, right? There's
Yeah.
different levels to this. Some people might
And
give
people
you,
don't know that. People don't
Yeah,
know
they
what
don't.
the difference
They
between.
don't.
They're like, oh, I'm coming to this therapist
Yeah.
to get prescribed something.
Yeah.
And we're like, we don't do that.
We don't do
or
that.
you go
Yeah,
to
yeah.
a psychologist or a psycho analyst.
Yes, they're psychoanalysts. Yeah.
And like there's just different people. You can't go to this person for this thing, and you can only go to this type of person for this. So it's like breaking that down so you have an understanding. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. And then some people you go to, they might be a behavioralist. And they might think from a certain school of thought.
Yeah.
And another person might be a developmentalist. And some other person might be a psychoanalyst and they're thinking about childhood. So they're all different.
Yeah.
But I think that there's also a question when it comes to people who do need help. And Lum wrote down, do you think that there's a time in which a person should not be held accountable for something that they said or done?
And I think that time is exactly where you mentioned it, because it relates to what we were talking about before. A lot of times people want to pin artists to be role models. But as a person who loves a lot of mediums of art, there's painters that are cutting their fucking ear offs and blinding themselves and doing crazy shit. We have manga artists throwing themselves off of roofs and going crazy and having crippling shit. There are rappers getting shot. I don't know any fucking art genre where you're going to find perfect role models across the board. This shit is emotional anything for us. Dumping grounds, shooting ranges, whatever you want to call it. And I feel like you need people like Eminem and people like DMX and people who's like, yo, I'm going to get on here and say the most psychotic shit you ever fucking heard. Because in reality, I may really go out and kill somebody if I know 'em. And I'm fine saying that on this song too. And I feel like once you put that responsibility of role model on there, people like them suffer, and also people like Kodak suffer because you don't get a chance to hear that. You just hear somebody what you think they're glorifying on some shit. But to me, I can listen to some shit and be like, just because there's so much shit I went through, I can hear a lot of genuine shit in certain rappers. So it's like, damn, I really relate to that. Like, because I relate to being a kid in certain situations where people will just look at you like, well, stop talking about that. And it's like, yo, you sound crazy for somebody who has certain things in their DNA. I feel like you should be able to have the growth in the room to work through your mental health on songs and in your art. And I understand that, there's people who look up to Kodak, so there's a lot of people who can't really decipher a lot of the shit that he goes through. Like people looked up to DMX. I'm sure there's somebody who looked up to DMX and took his shit completely left where I probably took it right. Because I looked at DMX like, damn, this dude went through all this pain, he went through all this shit, and he's putting this on a song. So he don't really got to be out there doing it, you know what I mean? Like, at least in my brain, because I'm like, if he's not saying this, he's probably going to be out there doing it. I always seen it as therapy. And I definitely think that shit gets shamed in a lot of ways. It's like another way, because, therapy in the black community is a hard thing to, I want to say sell, but a hard thing to communicate. And I feel like when you get therapeutic on songs, you know what I mean? If you're not like a super role model, like I say it all the time, like I'm not looking for I'm grown. I don't need rappers to be my role models. I'm a grown man.
Yeah.
I'm a grown man. So if you want to vent, you got some crazy shit to say, and it slap, and I feel like it's genuine, I'm gonna hear it for real.
Like, say Drake.
You know what? That was something that definitely came to mind. Well, first off, I think like being you is your superpower. Yeah. So like you being authentic and vulnerable, like that's gonna help somebody else through their trials and tribulations and what they're going through. So like, in order to like relate with people or for people to see that like as an artist, I think that being vulnerable and being real about your situation is like, that's what you should be doing with your art. Like you're here to, art is like a piece of you. There's a lot of people can't separate the art from them. Absolutely, they don't know who they are without it.
Absolutely.
So it's like, I I condone vulnerability. So I feel like you said, if that's really how you feel and that's something you're going through, you're not the only person on this earth that just went through that. So somebody's going to listen to this, and like you said, it's going to slap.
It's going
because
slap.
they're going to think, because when I listen to music, I think of specific times in my life where I felt like I'd be in the music video in my head.
Yeah.
And I see the scene. I know like exactly what nigga did what or who did this to me. And I'm like, yeah, it's that person.
Yeah.
And we in the music video, we walking through it in real life, but I'm picturing myself in that scene.
Yeah.
And it's like, because I've lived it. And that's the only way you can like think it and imagine like what that would look like and what it feels like. That's why certain songs like you start crying or you feel like, you know, even in church, like you get the Holy Spirit, and it's like that, though, it strikes a chord inside of you. So like people want all this tampered down, just not authentic versions of people to appease them. But I think a lot of what's going on in society right now is we have all these channels with things that match our opinion, and nobody wants an opposing opinion. And people are trying to say that being real is bad or we shouldn't do it. And it's like, well, then we're all going to be walking around like robots. And it's like somebody has to be real. And if that offends you, cool, turn it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Turn the song off. Like, go somewhere with that. So it's just, do I feel like they could be held accountable? Yeah. If it's something that is like harmful to somebody or it's like hate speech or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
But even in that, like if that's how you feel and that's something you're going through, like why can we not have a conversation around it? Like you can feel how you feel and I can feel how I feel, and that's how you get understanding.
Yeah, I think
you have to have those conversations.
People care too much about things they can't control. Like even with certain, I promise you, tomorrow, a white rapper could come out and he could have a song and an album. And the album could be N.I.G.G.E.R. He has the right to do that, in my opinion. It's his art.
It's like
it could be mad if I'm not gonna protest it.
I mean, he got the right.
On it.
It's like
Beyonce.
You
might catch a right.
You could. You might catch a right. Yeah. You gotta be. You listen. You gotta be. That's your responsibility. It's like people think, oh, I have freedom of speech. You definitely do. Someone also has the freedom to slap the shit out of you if they want to go to court and take the charges afterwards. They do. Like there's responsibilities that comes with the things you say. The internet has removed responsibility from things you say from a lot of people.
It's cast the illusion of unresponsibility,
irresponsibility.
Well, that's not what I'm trying to say. But it's cast. it has cast the illusion that people are not responsible for what they say.
Yeah.
Or for people to put you in a box. Like I was just saying, like for Beyonce, like, oh, you can't do country music. Who says?
Yeah, says who?
I can't be this person, but she's from Texas.
Yeah. And
she grew up down there, so she can't be this thing.
And country music is ours too. Y'all gotta stop letting people. Y'all be literally telling us we can't do black shit. It be driving me so crazy.
The guitar
it take 15 minutes to Google where country music
of an African instrument. They wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for black people's instruments. That's a whole nother conversation. You know what I mean? Because string instruments are not native to Europeans. Yeah, that's not what they was doing.
I think you can't hold people accountable for some of the things they say. I mean, look at Millie. But
who?
Millie.
Who's that?
Ain't that his name? The one that was in jail for
Oh, he's still in jail. You talking about Melly?
Melly.
Oh, yeah.
What I say? Millie.
Millie.
You know what I meant.
It's the Boston boy.
Millsy, the white boy. He rap a little bit.
No, that's not who I'm talking about.
You talking about YNW Melly.
Yeah, YNW.
But there's a white dude named Millsy.
That sounds like BNY Melon. Anyway.
Whoever.
BNY Melon.
Whoever ever.
Hey, yo. Non-fact, send us that check.
Needs that.
Yeah, so I think you can be held accountable, but I think also like if you putting it out there, like stand on your shit.
Absolutely.
If that's how you feel, then say it with your chest. And like people can try to hold you accountable or hold you to these things you said, but if it's authentic and it's real, what can they say?
They can't say anything.
Well,
they can't.
I think though it takes a lot of now I think it takes a lot of courage for people to say things that they feel authentically, because the world has created a false alarm system where anything that touches on certain things is now unacceptable. Where it's like, for example, I'll give you a great example.
Hey Corey,
This
get a
war-
timestamp real quick.
We had 52, but we started at 14, so we got like 25 more minutes.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, but I was talking about untouchable territory to me, so I'm just saying. Remember, I don't know what he about to say. Go ahead.
Untouchable territory.
Untouchable
No,
territory.
because I don't never, like, I'm trying to make bread. I ain't trying to demonetize it.
But shit,
Down with the site, no.
Oh shit, go crazy.
No, but let's say, for example, if someone were to be in a certain institution and support either side of this war happening in Gaza, you're done. You know what I mean? You're done. And what they said could have been something so factual, so simple, so truthful. Just like they could have said, I don't like the fact that children are being bombed in Gaza. And you could lose your job for saying some shit.
And you know what's crazy?
And that's
You could be
sick.
somebody. You could be somebody who did 10
have-
hours of research on that and lose your job because you got to buy somebody who got offended and didn't read shit.
No, but that's what I'm
who don't
saying.
know
Like,
nothing about
you
anything.
have to have a certain level of understanding that how you feel and what you feel, you either are going to be willing to stand on it and put it out there, or you have to accept that you're not and you have to hide. Like, there's no in between anymore. You can't really be some kind of real, because you can say one thing and people around you now have this picture of you in their head.
Oh yeah,
right?
And
you can't control
their
that.
whole
For sure, yeah.
opinion of
Right.
you shifted.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are heavily affected by others. I just had an attitude session. The attitude session was all of our business team, and we all just sat down and talked about what is the proper attitude to scale your business. Where do you need to be mentally, emotionally? What do you need to be working on to truly be in alignment with your business growing and you growing as an individual holistically, right? We call it an attitude session. And in the attitude session, my coach was saying how if you want to do something great, if you want to be the best version of yourself, not even just great to everybody else, right? Because you can do something great and no one there to see it. If you want to be great for yourself and for the people in your life, you have to not fit in. Like, you have to not fit in. He said if everyone is drinking on the weekends, if you want to do great, sell the ice. Don't drink, sell the ice. You'll do fine, right? But if you drink, you're gonna fit in, right?
Move that
but
ice.
the great person is the person who they go to the bar and they buy whatever from the bar because that person is selling the ice, right? But essentially, you have to be okay with not fitting in. Now, back to the mental health aspect of it, I think a lot of people's mental health issues stem from them not knowing how to cope with not being able to fit in whatever regard. You know what I mean?
Well, it feels like a punishment sometimes.
Yeah.
Last week in church, Pastor Curtis was talking about there are certain people that you're either particular or you're patterned. So, like, he kind of gave the example of, like, if you take somebody into, what's it called? Brooks and Brothers. It's like a nice store for suits. And you tell somebody to pick something out, like, they're like, okay, this is nice. This is what's up. But he's like, but if I take you to a tailor, they're going to measure your whole body. It's going to be very specific to you. And he's like, certain things are set aside and it has a different process. And I think as leaders, because I would consider everybody in this room a leader, like, sometimes that feels like a burden. Sometimes that feels like a punishment. Because you're like, I'm doing all the right things. I'm leading my people in this direction. I'm trying to help with this, but I'm burnt out, or I'm going through these things. And I'm like, where is my safe space? So, like, that definitely, it can be hard, but at the same time, like, I feel like when you know your purpose, that's a blessing, and that's something that people go through their lives and they never know. And, like, we are blessed to know what our purpose is and why we're here. So, like, you got to take the good with the bad. And unfortunately, like, I am the black sheep of my family, but I
think we all are in a way.
Yeah.
Actually, as soon as that left your lips, I realized that that's pretty much all of us.
But before it felt like, why am I so different? Or like, why am I not like these people? But now I'm standing out and everybody in my family is on Facebook like, oh my gosh, you're doing this thing. I'm so proud of you. And like, or we'll have conversations and everybody's just so excited to talk about, you know, what I'm doing. But it wasn't always like that. And before I understood my purpose and that is greater. I didn't really know why I was going through all the stuff I was going through, but I was being prepared for this.
And sometimes your greatness is someone else's excuse to feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Like,
what you mean?
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, because some people
They got a little attachment to you.
Some
They can
people
be like,
won't
I'm
support
XYZ.
you. Like I have, like, all right, for example, I have a business. It's in its infancy. I have a lot of business, but this particular business.
Okay.
Shout out to the Excess Energy Drinks. Holla at me. If you are in business with anything, right? There's a lot of people who won't support your business. That's fine. I know that. We all know that. Every entrepreneur will tell you that some of the people that you hold near and dear in your life will not support your business. We all know that. But when I become a millionaire, there will be a lot of people who will feel better about themselves because they can call me on the phone. Because they have my number, because they can come to my cookout. They'll feel better about themselves because they're close to a person that has achieved some level of greatness in their life. And sometimes we are other people's excuse to feel good about themselves. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, because as you rising tide raises all ships. So someone being next to you is going to help them rise in some type of way.
Definitely. I believe that.
And that's just what it comes with. But to kind of speak to that a little bit deeper and to kind of also bring Chick-fil-A back into the conversation, there's this book. There's this book by
everybody hungry. Like, bring Chick-fil-A
I
back.
love Chick-fil-A.
No, I haven't. Last time I had Chick-fil-A was probably 2010.
Okay, well, mine
that's
was
because I
like
gave
2
up chicken.
weekends
I gave
ago.
up chicken. That's why.
Okay.
But
They got good
Mark
salads.
Miller, right? One of the, I think the owner of Chick-fil-A, wrote a book called The Secret of Teams, and it's a really good book. Really good book. And I don't think it's just about, it's about teams functioning in the workplace. But when I read the book, I realize it's about whoever you have in your life. It's about everyone entering your life, how you should choose your partner, how you can't choose your kid. You can't choose your kids, but you can raise them. Right?
I mean, you basically can now.
And I don't even like to think about it like that.
All right, we're going to talk about that.
Yikes.
ahead,
No, I mean, people think they
That's a
can.
podcast.
You cannot program temperament, personality, and experience. You
Yeah.
think you can.
You think you can?
They think
Aesthetically,
they can.
yeah.
Until that person, like it's like what's that movie? Get Out. Until they get that camera flash or whatever that experience
And you
is,
snap back
and they
into
wake
the
up
consciousness,
and realize
yeah.
that their whole life ain't
Oh,
work.
that's number
But-
one humbling thing I've seen. People thinking they know how some kids gonna go.
Oh
You have
yeah, no, you don't have.
Mm-hmm.
But selection
planning
of
so
teams,
hard.
right? So there is people, there's skills, and there's community, right? So how we select people needs to be based upon how they fit into our community and what skills they come with, and what skills we think we can teach them. You know what I mean? And then secondly, skills. What skills do you have, right? When you are choosing someone to be in your life, whether it's a business partner, whether it's a friend, whether it's a lover, whether it's a DJ, like skill, what are you coming with, right? And we say bring to the table. I know that phrase has been beat to hell and back,
Facts.
but like when
I bring the table, y'all.
I bring the
like,
table.
what
Nah,
do you
bring
bring
the
to the
table.
table?
I brought it.
That's actually not a. But the question I don't like only because you don't decide what you bring to the table. You come and people evaluate whether what you have is valuable to them. Like you could be able to grow the entire garden yourself, and somebody was like, "Well, I ain't worried about that. I'm looking for somebody that know how to dance." And you like, well, shit, I can't. I got
you a
2
good
left
dancer?
feet. Well, you know what I mean?
Well, listen, I need a
I don't
good
know.
dancer.
No,
Sorry.
but honestly though,
So it's not
and
what you bring to the table, what you add to the menu. Pretty much.
it's what you add. We don't decide our value to other people. People decide what's valuable to them.
Absolutely.
And that's fine. But
Absolutely.
you have to know what's valuable to you. So what is
Yeah.
the skills that you're looking for in this person that's coming into your life? And then lastly, community, meaning that people stay in your life because of the value that you add. Now, that can be good or bad, but if people don't feel like you genuinely care about them, or if they don't feel like you're genuinely interested in them, you don't have a community.
Yeah.
You have a list of contacts in your cell phone. You know what I mean? And that's why a lot of people feel like I don't have support. Some of us work hard and don't have support, but we don't realize that all the value that we add to people is only in one space. Like you might add a lot of value to people at work, but you didn't realize to stop and think that you haven't added any emotional value to any of your friends.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, they're not reciprocating anything. And you realize, like, I feel empty. And it's not your fault. It's just that there's a lot for us to focus on in these days, right? It's not simple times anymore. You can't you can't just go out and plant your garden and then sit in front of your hut all day and watch the sun go down. Like, you gotta do a million fucking things these days. You know what I mean?
And also what you're talking about is that relationship and having genuine friends, as we said before. That shit's just not an everyday thing. Having people who's genuinely happy for you and you genuinely happy for them.
Real
like
friends are
like or happy.
Are rare.
I swear to God,
you've known each other since kindergarten. I mean, a lot of my friends I've been cool with for over a decade, but I can only name 4 of them that I can, and I think that's why me and you have like kept our friendship so long and why it's worked so well, because like I can call you about a variety of different topics. It's not just like, oh, like I'm dating this dude and this happened, or it's I can call you and be like, hey, how could I scale niplets, or what's your idea for a sponsor for an event, or this is going on with my family and my mom, how can I approach this better, or can I get an outside perspective because my mind's not working because I'm in it. You know what I mean? Like, there's been a lot of times where we've talked about pretty much everything. I've known you my whole life since kindergarten, at least from what I can remember.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
So it's like adding value in that space is definitely important. And for me, I feel like having the Artist Talk community, like, I have to add value in a spectrum of different ways. Artist Talks works with all different artists, all mediums. So I might have somebody come to me and be like, oh, how can I mix and master this track? Or who can I reach out to for content? Or how do I get a grant? How do I not burn out? Where do I find a therapist? Where can I find this support group? How can I pay my rent? How do I get my electricity back on? Like, how do I, like, what number can I call if I'm struggling with this? Where do I get food from? I don't have no money. I haven't sold any art. I have to be valuable in all of those spaces. So, like, giving so much of that, I don't expect everybody to be able to give back in all of the ways that I can put forth. But I keep the people close to me that add value to my life in multiple ways. So that's facts.
Yeah, adding value is, I think, very elusive. Like, people don't really know what that means. And the terminology, I'm realizing, is just starting to be something that people say more. I've just started to use that term for myself in the last 8 months or so, because it's very intentional. Adding value isn't just like, you can call somebody and just drain the fuck out of them. You can spend time around.
I don't answer those calls no more.
Facts.
I don't answer drain calls.
You can spend time around
people.
Somebody and unintentionally just not add value. And I think to add value. Right.
That's what it feels like. It feels like taker type vibes, because it's like, why am I always so drained or tired after this conversation? And I feel like a lot of the times, like, people will be like, oh, I want this type of partner. And I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was like, but what type of partner do you want to be? And what are you going to contribute to this?
Exactly.
So it's like, that really changed my perspective if I'm dating somebody, to be like, okay, if I want all of these things, and I just did it in my journal the other day. I was like, these are the things that this person is adding to my life. Okay, now make your list. What are you adding to his? How are you showing up for him? It might not, and it's not going to match. Like, you might show up for me financially, but I might show up for you as a support system, and you might already have these things, so you don't need those.
I think the whole equally yoked shit puts people into a box where you have unrealistic expectations.
That's not what it's about. It's about balance.
It's about balance. There's been plenty of time. There's relationships where I've probably spent more money. There's relationships where I spent less, but there's a lot of different things in there that don't really equate financially that I needed.
Somebody being your piece
there for me. Yes, like
it can't match.
It can't match. It don't make any
sense.
Like, if you're thinking about that too much, then like you're not really ready for a relationship. If you're constantly worried,
are you trying to check off boxes?
Yeah, you're like, all right, well, she's doing as much as me, so I feel better. There's no relationship's going to be like that. You need to find somebody who you give a fuck about enough that you ain't really thinking about that.
If you want a relationship like that, where you're just constantly receiving and not putting anything out, get a therapist.
Yeah.
That's what you pay them
Hey.
for. But
Full circle.
even that is transactional.
Yeah.
You are paying
Yeah,
for
that's
this
a fact.
person's time. This person is not necessarily showing up because they're like, oh, I'm Team Sydney. Like, I'm here to save you. No, I'm paying you this amount of money an hour for you to show up and for you to help me do this work together. But if you're not paying somebody to show up, then what are you giving back to them?
Yeah, that's a fact.
How are you paying them in another way? And it's transactional like that, but that's not always a bad thing.
No, and
No,
I think
definitely
that,
not.
like, honestly, no relationship is going to match perfectly. And I don't think that it should match, like, the give and pull. Because if it's matched, then at some point it becomes a contest.
Yeah.
Like,
Facts.
if you, let's just break it down to the most simple relationship, the most popular type of relationship is a
it does
romantic
become a
relationship.
That is a bar.
If you and your romantic partner are both financially, like, you know, there for each other, then it becomes a point at which, even unintentionally, there's a keeping score, there's a keeping track, like, and it's like, and some people will keep track even when it's unmatched, but the reality is that if you give me everything that I give you, I could just keep those things for myself.
Yeah.
And you could just keep those things for yourself.
For yourself. Yeah.
We need to have the ability to do this, right?
Yeah.
Like, and to have some type of coming together where you're feeling void. I don't want to say you're feeling void. You're bringing something to the table. Yikes. That that allows someone.
Yeah, right there. Boom. High value male over there.
High value man was sick.
High value
Okay.
male.
High value man was sick.
Slide that one in there.
No, you're bringing something to the table that allows a person to see that you're giving them something that they realize is unique. And that's what community is. That's what skills is.
Bringing that out in them.
Bringing that out in them. You know, even you can bring out something in someone that they want for themselves that they didn't know they wanted for themselves, right? You might take care of yourself or have a level of hygiene that inspired them to do this little something extra for themselves. You know?
Yeah, you ain't got to stink. You can just.
You ain't got to stink.
You ain't,
It's optional.
You ain't know. You mad at me. It's crazy.
It's
I don't
not-
stink.
But
I
you know, when
ain't
you got
know.
options, it's hard to be disciplined. So
when you got options,
it's optional.
I got the option to stink. That's crazy.
That's
That's crazy.
true.
It'd be wild. I watched the show.
Some
I watched.
people don't have an option though. My bad.
No.
It's
Some
tradition
people-
for some
yeah,
people.
Yeah, some people don't.
No,
have
I
options.
watched Shogun the other day.
Condition.
The one white dude was on Shogun. He was like, hey, it's time for your bath, sir. He's in a bath 2 times in a week. I was like, there ain't no way Europeans.
2
was
times
taking-
a week?
That's what dude said. He said a bath more than once in a week.
Well, they tried to crucify SZA when she says she don't take baths. She never
No, that
said
wasn't
she
SZA.
doesn't. Who was it?
That was Summer Walker.
I
Yeah.
knew it was Summer
First
Walker.
off, I'm cracking up.
I knew it was Summer Walker. It was
swear to God.
crazy.
That just
No,
sound like a
but
Summer
she
Walker
didn't
thing,
say that
like-
she didn't shower. She's just all she literally said was, "I don't
Yeah.
like taking baths," and baths aren't necessarily the best option for women's bodies.
Yeah.
Like
No.
so,
I don't
like
think
you
the
put all
bath
that
is the
stuff
best
in it.
option for anything unless you're trying to soak.
I feel
and, like,
dirty. I'm gonna take a
unless
bath
you
and I'm
trying
hurt.
to.
Always
No, bath to
afterwards.
me
Afterwards.
is for pain and
Yeah.
relaxation. It ain't for cleanliness.
Oh,
I
swear
was about to
God.
say
Like-
I take a bath and then I take a shower.
I take a
Like,
shower.
shower
after.
is for
Yeah.
cleanliness.
I gotta be
Bath
hurting
is for
to take a
pain
bath,
and
bro.
relaxation.
Well, I do it to like
Yeah.
because when I go to the gym, I'm sore, so it relaxes my body, and then
Yeah.
I do the little cold
And that's-
showers
and
to
that's
wake
fine.
me up and
And
get the
that's
little
fine.
dopamine
No, I
high.
swear.
Yeah, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if you relying on a bath to clean yourself, then I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it
I'm not
either.
gonna say nothing wrong about you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I don't like it.
No,
Like,
I'm gonna
that's
say
it.
something wrong about it. I'm not really fucking with you if you just sitting in butt stew every night. You can't convince me if you go and sit in butt stew for 30
Butt
minutes a
stew.
night that you that clean.
That's the name of the episode.
You never rinse.
It's like,
you never
no.
rinse the ass off. Picture going to the gym and just sitting in the gym and then not shower, sitting in the tub and not showering after. You literally sitting in butt stew every night. If you don't rinse off afterwards, you ain't clean. Don't let anybody give you the illusion that you were clean. If you do not rinse yourself out.
So Black Therapy 101.
Black Therapy 101. Black Therapy 101.
Therapist first question. Do you wash your legs?
Do you wash?
Yo, I
Don't
watched
be in
the
my
clip.
office sitting in my chair if you don't wash your legs. Sorry, no, what you gonna say?
Hey, I watched the clip where they was interviewing white people over in Europe.
Yeah.
Asking them, "Do you wash your legs?" They
a
was
lot of
asking
them-
black couples.
How don't you
And
wash
they-
your legs?
I was-
No.
What? Your
There's a lot of
legs?
people in this
And they
world
said,
who
hell
don't
no.
use soap.
You put your legs outside the shower.
They just said they.
I just wanna know how
like,
you
for
don't
what?
wash
They
your
was like,
legs.
for what?
If you intentionally go out of your way
To not wash your legs.
wash your legs,
You gotta
Something
go
wrong with
crazy.
you. But they was asking all the black dudes, man, and they was like, of course, like it was Okay, yeah, nigga. Like,
How do you miss that
Yeah,
step?
your
But
legs.
they would ask the white people.
I wash my
part of my
legs
body.
every single shower,
Every
and I wash between my toes. I wash my feet, all
wash
of
every
it.
part of my
I don't
body
play
every
about
shower.
that.
Well, white people don't do that for some reason. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, they
I
don't.
It is a
didn't
thing.
know that.
It is a
I didn't know
thing.
that. I didn't know that until I seen that. I was
No,
like,
it's
and
a thing.
It was consistent. He was asking a good bit of people.
No.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Right. My white friends have told me that. The ones that are like, no, dude, I shower every day. And they're like, that's not a regular thing. And my one friend said I shower every day, and that's not a regular thing. It's like, well, my family, it's not a regular thing. I fucking think it's a regular thing. I said, congrats to you, bro, because that is crazy.
I shower multiple times a day.
I do,
Yeah,
yeah.
and my
Like,
mom
it's
is
too
still
hot for
that at
that.
me. My mom is still that at me.
Yeah,
Wash-
as soon as I start,
wash
my
your legs,
dad,
wash everything.
Oh,
Everything. Like,
I ain't gonna lie. I
You
use the
get behind
gloves.
your ears.
Type shit. I use
Facts.
the gloves, the
Nigga.
little, you know what I mean, the gloves.
You
not
an
the screen.
man, not taking a
exfoliator.
shower
Man,
came with a
and let
lecture
me
from
tell
my dad
you-
when I was younger. I didn't
Let
even
me tell
pay
you, as
that
a person
shit.
that wash their legs every day and that use the gloves.
You
there-
soft.
there
Your
ain't-
body is a
type
whole
shit.
different because you wash
There
it
has
off
not been one day where I ain't go down on my leg and ain't see dirt hit the water. I don't care what I did that day.
crazy.
So please,
You might have just laid in bed.
wash your legs.
You gotta wash your legs, bro. Swear to God.
This is a commercial for your
no,
legs.
you definitely do, bro.
And this
My-
is
my
mental
dad was
health
the
too.
same
Like
way. Mental health.
cleanliness is also
Mental health.
a part of mental health. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cleanliness is a part of mental health.
No,
because-
facts it is.
Facts.
Yeah.
Dirty mind, dirty like life. Like
Yeah,
my
yeah.
my therapist
Yeah.
would, you know what I meant.
Yeah,
Dirty
But,
mind, dirty life.
Dirty man.
My dirty kneecaps.
Old slut.
That's all I was like. You got dirty kneecaps and a dirty mind.
Dirty kneecaps is
No
crazy.
facts.
No, but my therapist talks about that. Like I'll tell her like if I feel overwhelmed or whatever, she'll be like, "Well, what's your room look like right now?" Like what does like
literally
your
was just
living space
I was
look
telling
like?
my brother that too the other day. I'm like, yo, you gotta, cause like your living space will really affect your mental health. You'll look around like, damn, I'm living in
100%.
squalor. Like, I'm living
Yep.
in like filth. It might just be your clothes a couple different places. Like keeping your shit organized. Like I feel better going home after this, knowing my room is together.
I'll be looking
knowing
forward
my
to
crib
going
is together.
home.
Yeah, swear to God.
I'll
'cause
be
I know
like,
my
I
spot is laid out
can't-
how I want it.
I can't wait to get in the crib,
It's the
lay
best.
down, because I know
Yeah,
my
niggas-
bed's made. I know my candle is right next to my bed,
niggas-
and I can
yeah,
light
niggas
that
is
and
old.
get situated.
Niggas is old now. There was a time where all three of us was at a
Who's
club.
old?
Now we said we getting up there now a little bit.
How old is you?
You forget she younger than us though.
No,
Yeah,
Sid,
how old are
listen,
you,
now,
Mom?
Sid I knew Sid for like 8 years. She got to be getting old at some point.
Nah, my energy is young now.
Yeah, energy,
I don't-
listen.
No,
When
yeah,
I went
yeah.
to LA,
Yeah.
I didn't know nobody out there last time I went when I got booked
Yeah.
to work at that to host the club, and everybody in there, all the people I met, they're like, "How old are you? Like 22, 23?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay." And
No, I would tell you look 22,
Okay.
23. He said, okay, I'll roll with it.
No facts. I was like, "I'm 30," and they were like, "There's no
Yeah.
way." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm just right."
No, I ain't gonna lie. Some 30-year-old,
girl.
no, I 30 be looking, 32, 31 be looking crazy. I was talking to some young girl yesterday.
some
She
people-
said,
yeah.
oh, wow, you look so nice for 34. I said, what is 34 supposed to look like?
Bro, but no, facts though, there
Like?
are, well, number
They
one,
not like
when we
us.
was growing
They
up,
not like us.
feel me?
God. Mental health,
when we was
They not
growing up,
us.
like, the people in their 30s was looking stressed. There was, first of all, everybody, when we was growing up, everybody in their 30s was smoking cigarettes. There wasn't one person. If you wasn't smoking cigarettes when we was a kid and you was in your 30s,
No.
Neither
you
of my
were
parents smoked
out, you were an
cigarettes.
oddball.
No, yeah, my dad was an oddball
Think
because he
about
was a
our
super
parents'
athlete. He was
generation.
sober his whole life. My
Yeah, my
mom
parents
They
smoked
all
smoked
smoked
cigarettes.
cigarettes.
No, I
so
swear to
that's
God.
aging you off rip.
No, you right. If you look
You
at
know
old
what I
NBA
mean?
pictures, look at old NBA pictures. Niggas be 25. They shit hairline be back here. They look like somebody's uncle. They be looking 45. I'm like, how old was this dude? 23?
Yeah. And then people have this obsession with youth, and the obsession with youth completely diminishes the beauty of aging. It diminishes the rites of passage of becoming older. It diminishes the word of old people, of older
Yeah.
people. And it's funny because in this business that I'm in, a lot of the coaches that I'm working with are, the youngest are in their late 30s, but majority of them on my side in their late 50s, 60s, and early 70s.
I'm not trying to be that old. And to
I was about
like,
to say,
be,
damn,
to
nigga,
be,
what you trying to check
God
out?
I didn't mean it like that.
Mental health. Mental health.
Hell.
That's not what I meant.
Mental health.
What I meant was like, I don't want to be that old to be like successful, like,
Yeah.
because I'm assuming
yeah,
these
yeah,
are
Oh,
my
to
other-
be
No, no, no.
successful.
Yeah, like I do want to be that old one day.
Right.
I want to
do
be as
wanna
old as I
live.
can get.
Yeah.
No, these people
Let me
though,
set the old
trying to
record
be
for
like
me.
two-
these people
200.
retire in their 40s and 30s and shit.
Oh,
But
okay,
like,
so they're retired.
yeah,
already.
but they're just that old now, and but none of them
Yeah, I'll
seem
take
that way though.
I don't want to be that old.
None of them
Like,
seem
damn.
that way though. Like when you get around these people, you would think that they like you'll be like, bro, like you feel so much younger because their energy is vibrant. Like I don't be seeing them yawn or nothing.
No, age
Like,
is
I'm
definitely
telling
energy.
You, like they really be
I
on
ain't seen
point.
not
Shout
one
out to
yawn.
excess energy, man. I don't be seeing them
facts.
yawn or nothing. They be really on one. I'm
Yo,
like,
I swear to God, there's old people who I
energy is
don't
high.
want to be, and there's old people who I be wanting to be. There's people I be seeing at
Facts.
the gym. One dude, man, he like 70, bro, 8-pack, and he be giving me compliments. I be hating this so much. I used to work with him. He be like, hey, Anthony, man, keep up that good work, man. You looking great over there. I'm like, nigga, you 72 with an 8-pack. You look like you could be a fucking action hero right now. Why you giving me compliments, nigga?
No, because
like
he
a lot
sees greatness in you.
He's such a positive guy. I be
Yeah,
messing with him
man,
like you trying to
you
be
see
funny and
greatness in
shit
you.
because you look like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger.
What's his name? You ain't gonna say his name?
I ain't gonna say his name or nothing.
Gavin, what up, bro? Gavin, what up? That's my dog. I used to work with Gavin. That's my dog. I ran into him at the gym.
Oh, that's the one I used to be in the gym?
Yeah,
That
at
used to kill
GMC.
it?
He's making me go crazy. Same Gavin. I
You
ran
was
into
telling me
him.
about him for like 10 years.
Bro, still
Shout
making
out
me
to
look
Gavin.
crazy. He's 10 years older. That 8-pack, like, yo, bro, you 70 with an 8.
The
What are you
8-pack
doing?
is packing.
I don't got an 8-pack. 34.
He said, "What
He's
are you
living
doing?"
great, bro. He's living his best life. He's
Bro.
enjoying life, man. And he's healthy.
Yeah,
you
he's
know.
healthy. And he's in a good mood all the time. He positive. He happy to be. That's how I want to be. I'm happy to be here. Give me all the age, nigga. Give me all the age. Every single one.
So I just want to wrap up by saying, well, first of all, I want to give you the floor to say anything
For
about
sure. Where they can find you at.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about like the Black Therapy 101
Yeah, do your
event and what that's going to look like.
Yep.
So this Black Therapy 101 is a little bit different than the other ones that we had. So previous to this, I would just go out, find Black therapists, and it would be a panel discussion with just therapists. This time, we have a peer specialist coming, Keem. Julius is coming, Julius Boatwright, and he runs Still Smiling, which is another mental health organization in the city that supports Black mental health. He's the GOAT. Shout out to you, Julius. You be doing your thing. So he's coming from a perspective of him being a therapist, but also as him being a founder of a company and running a mental health organization. We have Treble NSL, who just graduated from
NLS.
NLS. That's what I meant. He is an artist in the city, but he just graduated from Therapeutic Spaces, which is a program through Artist Talk. So he's coming from the perspective of, I went through a program to better my mental health, and now we're here to share that. And also mental health as an artist. So I'm going to be on the panel as well, coming from, like, my background is not in mental health. So I'm coming as somebody that runs an organization and is in that world, but also as an artist. And then we have Dr. Darla Timbo, who is coming as a therapist as well. So there's a spectrum of, like, nobody is showing up in one perspective. We're all coming in a dual mindset, showing up as, like, dual perspectives of, like,
Beautiful.
sharing that. So the panel is a little bit different that way. There might be a performance at this Black Therapy 101, which we've never done before. You'll have to come and check it out. So yeah, you can expect a panel discussion with all of those perspectives, talking about everything from what do you talk about in therapy? How do you find a therapist? How do you break up with your therapist? What type of therapist can you get? Anything and everything. And then we have a question and answer session where you could just, ask whatever's on your mind. So I'm really excited about this Black Therapy 101. It's going to be very different. It's at Opia in Southside. So I'm really excited to have it back there. That's where the first Artist Talk event was ever back in 2021. So it's cool to circle back and be where we are now there. And I'm excited about the venue because it's a very, like, blank canvas. It's all white in there. It's a photography studio. So I'm excited to put, like, all the details and make the space my own. I feel like that's a way that I show up for the community and show that I care is through the details and through the spaces that I curate that are like, this is for you specifically. Let me put these things in here so I was thinking of you in this specific way. So really excited about that. July 11th, we're going to be at Opia in Southside on Sydney Street from 6 to 9. And I'm excited to talk to everybody. I'm excited for people to come and explore what it looks like to be their best version of themselves in a safe setting where vulnerability is encouraged no matter what that is.
Absolutely.
And yeah, just create that space for the community. I'm super excited.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
And
let me say
Lum LaL show will be there covering the event.
And let me say also, we're excited to see you on your journey to being your best self, Sid. You made a lot of ground.
No,
for a minute, and I know obviously I wouldn't say you're your best self yet because I feel like you're still going up, but I'm definitely proud of you. You know what I'm saying? You know, you've always been a boss, but you've been bossing up every single year. It's really exciting to see all the success. We definitely gotta say that. Absolutely.
I appreciate that. I remember.
Definitely.
Absolutely. We see you out here. We see you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I remember when we was on, on stage together performing. I'm like, let me get the ad-libs. Go on. And now you're doing that for me. So I appreciate you appreciating me and adding value in all of these and all the ways that you guys have. I mean, what I'm doing now with Artist Talk and with the spaces that I'm curating, it's because you guys added value into my life in multiple ways throughout the years.
I
mean, you helped me find the name of my first business, Sniplets. We was just freestyling, kicking it at the spot. So you guys have spoke life into me and encouraged me and created a positive environment where I could come to and grow from. So I appreciate that. And we here together. We got here together. It's not just me, so I appreciate that.
Yes.
So let me give y'all flowers.
Thank you.
A
A lot of flowers in here. A lot of flowers in here.
Yeah, a lot of flowers everywhere.
Bouquet episode.
Flowers everywhere.
Yep. I want to say thank y'all for tapping in, tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the noti bell. Make sure you put your M's up for mental health game. Mental health. Put your M's in the comments, man.
Yeah.
If you don't comment an M, it don't count. All right.
Mental health,
Make sure you
If
comment an
y'all
M.
see me out doing this don't I'm not in a gang.
No.
I'm in a mental health gang.
Mental health gang.
Yeah, mental health gang.
Make sure that you are taking the time to look into what is best for you and how you can achieve a higher level of mental health balance and symbiosis with the rest of your life. In the meantime, watch all the other videos.
Oh yeah, and follow Artist Talk.
Follow Artist Talk.
Forgot to tell y'all
Follow
any of that.
Artist Talk.
Follow
Nick
Artist Talk
Liz.
Mental Health on Instagram. It's artisttalkmentalhealth.com. Artist Talk Mental Health on YouTube. We trying to get our followers up, so follow us on YouTube for sure. TikTok, Facebook, all the platforms. It's Artist Talk Mental Health. If y'all want to find me personally, my Instagram is niplids, NIPLIDS_. Y'all ain't gonna be judging me and holding me accountable for the stuff I say on there, so don't come on there unless you're ready.
Unless you're ready. She don't be putting nothing on there. It's all good.
I ain't saying nothing crazy, but mental health be mental health, and I be very transparent and real with my audience, and that's how I connect and build with my community, is showing up as my authentic self. So if you want something that's going to just match your opinion and be picture perfect, that you ain't gonna find that there, but that's where you can find us at.
All right. Appreciate having you out.
Yeah, thank you.
See
Wonderful
y'all next
episode.
time.
Yeah, definitely.
Stay safe.
Be easy.
I'll holler.
It's all gravy. Connections coming in daily. Shipping popping off M80. Check it out.
One more M. That was a dope one.
Now I was just hoping this battery stayed on.